Orange County Roleplay has been a staple in the GTA 5 role-playing community, known for its structured environment and dedicated player base. However, recent events have raised concerns about the direction of the server, particularly regarding bans, transparency, and community management. These issues have sparked intense debate among players and content creators alike, leading to significant scrutiny of OCRP's administrative decisions. For more insight, be sure to watch my first video titled, "What's Going On with the OCRP?" before diving into this deep dive. Let's get into it. OCRP was founded with a vision of creating an immersive and fair role-playing experience. Over the years, it has built a solid reputation attracting content creators and serious role-players alike. The server has prided itself on realism, engaging role-playing scenarios, and an active community. Despite its strong foundation, tensions have emerged within the community, leading to controversy surrounding how the server is managed and how rules are enforced. The core appeal of OCRP has been its balance between structured gameplay and creative freedom. Unlike some other roleplay servers that adapt stricter no-nonsense policies, OCRP has aimed to cultivate a welcoming environment. However, this philosophy has been challenged in recent months, with the accusations that the administration is too lenient with some players or too harsh with others, creating a divide within the community. Additionally, concerns about favoritism and cliques within the server have been raised, with some players feeling that certain members receive peripheral treatment based on their relationships with administrators or affiliations with specific content creator groups. This perception has contributed to the growing rift between different factions within the server, as some players feel isolated or pushed to the margins, while others seem to have an easier time navigating the community's rules. Furthermore, while OCRP promotes itself as a no-rank community, some positions might be necessary for running and operating a large-scale community effectively. It is crucial to acknowledge that structured leadership roles, when implemented fairly, can improve efficiency and ensure fair decision-making. A major turning point came with the banning of several members, including Alyssa P, Uncle TT, and Ella the Octopus. These bans, along with others, were highlighted in discussions regarding OCRP's disciplinary policies. In total, 13 members were banned all the way up until September 2024, including the names just mentioned. Since then, at least 2 additional bans have occurred, including Alpha Game Atari and Outlaw Gaming, with other bans that are not as publicly known. During an interview with a formerly banned member, which will remain anonymous, stated, "Yeah, they talked big on only 13 members being banned in the history of OCRP, but that figure easily doubled at minimum during my time." The situation escalated when a publicly shared ban list detailing these bans fueling speculation about potential biases in the decision-making process. What made this list particularly concerning was its alleged inclusion of insulting remarks about the banned individuals, leading many to question the professionalism and fairness of OCRP's administrative team. Some of the band members had been vocal critics of OCRP's administration, leading to accusations that these actions were retaliatory rather than rule-based. Others pointed out inconsistencies in enforcement, with some players facing severe consequences for minor infractions, while others seemed to evade a punishment despite similar behavior. The Excel spreadsheet containing the list of band members has been a key point of controversy. The evidence in question is based on sources and information that, to the best of my knowledge, are credible and relevant to the discussion, and align with the known issues and patterns observed within the community. Reasons for removal and dates members were let in isn't public information, so it would be hard for someone to fake dates with acceptance and removals. Source has been verified by multiple active OCRP members. Users are most likely anonymous and don't want to be named due to still being active within the community, as leaking of this document may cause disciplinary consequences for these members. Its credibility has been debated within the community as it's allegedly originated from internal sources within OCRP. Some claim that the document is accurate and provides a revealing look into the server's disciplinary actions, while others argue it lacks official verification and could have been manipulated. Regardless of its authenticity, the document has contributed to widespread discussion about how bans are handled and the level of professionalism within OCRP's leadership. The presence of derogatory remarks within the list, if true, further casts doubt on the objectivity of OCRP's ban process and raises concerns about potential administrative bias. One of the key contradictions within OCRP's administration is the way minor in-game infractions are handled. Despite branding itself as a more relaxed and less strict role-playing server compared to others, players have reported facing warnings or even consequences for small mistakes regarding roleplay decisions that don't significantly impact others. This creates an environment where members feel they must walk on eggshells, fearing that even minor slip-ups could lead to disciplinary action. When a server promotes itself as casual and welcoming, but enforces rules with a heavy hand, it creates confusion and frustration among players. A truly fair and balanced approach would involve clearer guidelines and a more lenient stance on minor infractions, allowing for organic roleplay growth rather than discouraging creativity through excessive policing. Requirement number 8 on OCRP website states, OCRP operates under a one-strike policy. We have a limited set of rules, so one rule break and you are removed, or we may remove you if your RP is not what we're looking for. Members must acknowledge this policy. This statement highlights a significant issue within the OCRP's disciplinary approach. While one-strike policy may seem like a way to maintain order, it becomes problematic when applied inconsistently or used selectively. OCRP promotes itself as a less strict RP server, yet enforcing an unforgiving one-strike rule contradicts that philosophy. Additionally, the subjective nature of determining if someone's roleplay is not what we're looking for raises concerns about fairness. Without clear guidelines or an appeal process, this policy can be easily weaponized, allowing bans to be issued based on personal bias rather than concrete infractions. If the policy is not consistently enforced and used in a retaliatory manner, it undermines the credibility of OCRP's moderation system and discourages community growth. One statement that stood out came from Alyssa P., one of the band members. She shared her experience stating, "I just want to say I was also banned from OCRP. Twice actually. The first time was a load of crap and Jeff unbanned me within 2 hours due to admins power tripping. The second time, also no grounds, but Jeff was outvoted as more admins had been added by this point. I was also berated by bugs in voice chat just prior to the first ban. I wish I had it recorded for everyone to hear. It was disgusting. This is the moment I lost all respect. I didn't get on OC for weeks. The way the admins treat human beings is absolutely appalling. They are speaking to mothers, daughters, and brothers like this, and a lot of people sit by and let it happen. If you call them out, you get attacked verbally. It's nothing short of toxic." Jeff Faviano, a key figure in OCRP, addressed the situation in a statement confirming the bans and introducing a policy change requiring admins to provide reasons for disciplinary actions. However, concerns remained, particularly regarding transparency. Statements from Jeff regarding the bans further complicated the discourse, as some saw them as dismissive of community concerns, while others interpreted them as an attempt to maintain order within the server. Regardless of whether the bans were justified, they do not dismiss the broader issue within OCRP's leadership, transparency, and rule enforcement. A justified ban does not negate concerns about inconsistent moderation, lack of accountability, and administrative bias. Even if some bans were warranted, the way they were handled, often without clear communication or fairness, remains a valid point of contention. Furthermore, systematic issues such as favoritism, lack of community input, and the use of vague policies to justify removals persist regardless of individual cases. Addressing these larger problems is essential to maintaining a fair and welcoming community, ensuring that all members are treated equally, not just those deemed problematic. On OCRP website, it states OCRP is an LGBTQ+ friendly and inclusive community. However, a more controversial point was Jeff's past use of homophobic statements, which resurfaced amidst these bans. While OCRP took action against a player for using similar language, Jeff's history raised a question about double standards and rule enforcement. Many argue that if OCRP is taking a firm stance on language and conduct, it should be applied consistently regardless of individuals' status within the community. Additionally, when banning someone, it is necessary to do it in a more personal manner, rather than handling bans behind a keyboard. Administrators should join a Discord call and explain the wrongdoings to the member directly. This avoids the impersonal and dismissive nature of keyboard warriors and instead fosters constructive dialogue, ensuring members understand their actions and have an opportunity to discuss them. OCRP presents itself as a server with a democratic decision-making process. However, in practice, this system is fundamentally flawed. The decision-making power within OCRP is concentrated in the hands of 5 individuals who vote on all major decisions. While this structure may seem democratic at first glance, it effectively excludes the larger community from having any real influence on the direction of the server. Regular members, despite being the backbone of the community, have no direct say in important matters such as bans, rule changes, or leadership adjustments. During my interview with a former member who was removed from OCRP, I asked the question, OCRP seems to pride themselves on being a democracy. How much of a voice would you say members have on the decision of things? Example, voting system. To which they replied, none whatsoever. This centralized authority has led to increasing dissatisfaction among players who feel that their voices are not being heard. The lack of a broader voting system or an open forum for decision-making fosters a sense of exclusivity within the administration, reinforcing the perception that OCRP operates more like an oligarchy than a truly democratic community. Implementing a system where members have greater input, such as community polls or elected and appointed representatives, could help bridge this gap and ensure that server-wide decisions reflect the collective will of its members rather than the preferences of a small governing body. Greater democracy in decision-making. OCRP could implement a system where members have a say in major decisions, such as bans and rule changes. Appointed and elected positions. Allowing the community to vote on certain administrative positions could reduce perceived biases. Ban Review Committee. A dedicated team responsible for reviewing bans with hard factual evidence to ensure fair and just rulings. Improve transparency. Regular updates from OCRP leadership regarding server changes and disciplinary actions. Stronger protections against favoritism. Measuring to ensure all players, regardless of status, are treated equally. A more personal ban process. Handling bans through direct communication rather than personal written messages. The reason I'm making this deep dive isn't to bash OCRP or harm its reputation, but because I genuinely care about the community and want to see it thrive. I've been a fan of OCRP for a long time, and I believe that highlighting these concerns is important for fostering a better and more transparent environment. My goal is not to create division, but to encourage constructive conversations that lead to positive changes. The server has great potential, and I want to see it grow in a way that benefits everyone involved, from the players to the administrators. This situation shouldn't just be dismissed as mere drama. Labeling it that way oversimplifies the real concerns being raised by members of the community. When people invest their time into a role-playing server, they become part of something bigger. A shared experience built on trust, fairness, and mutual respect. The issues surrounding bans, transparency, and administrative decisions directly impact the player base and the future of OCRP. Ignoring or downplaying these situations as just drama disregards the voices of those affected and prevents meaningful improvements from being made. Constructive criticism isn't about stirring controversy, it's about ensuring that the community remains a place where players are valued, heard, and treated fairly. Overall, OCRP remains a significant force in the GTA 5 role-playing scene, but it faces challenges that could impact its long-term success. The coming months will be crucial in shaping OCRP's legacy and the broader role-playing community's perception of it. If OCRP can take meaningful steps to improve transparency, enforcing rules consistently, and engage with its community through democratic processes, it may yet restore the trust it has lost.